This is problem 3.03 for Francois Tardieu's Backgammon Strategic Concepts book from Chapter 3, Playing with or Against a Lone Back Checker. Here's the position. We're green. We rolled a 6-2. Our home board's in the bottom right. We've escaped almost one of our back checkers, so we have one back checker back on the 24 only. We'll look at the two top moves and try to figure out which one is best and why. I'll give you my quick observations on each of the moves. We'll look at some of Tardieu's key points, as well as Tardieu's expert analysis with feedback from XG. Look at Tardieu's summary, and then I'll modify the position at the end of the video, which raises a few questions. Also, I'll show you a recommended video, Getting to Know Backgammon Studio Heroes, on the USBGF YouTube channel. Some points to remember when playing with or against a lone back checker. A lone back checker can escape twice as easily as two. It can run to freedom in a single roll. However, a single back checker cannot form an anchor, so is vulnerable to being blitzed by the opponent. Here's the first possible move, stepping up from the 24 to the 22 and safetying our blot from the 14 to the 8, like this. This leaves us with only one checker back, which we can now run out with a 6. Brings a 10th checker down into the attack. Cleans up our blot from the 14 point. White has 11 checkers in the zone on 3 points with 5 builders that can attack us here. And we're moving to a point, the 22 point, which white will hit loose on if given the chance because it's more desirable than the 24 point, more desirable for white. It's a little more dangerous to move up like this. Second possible move is to make a run for it by moving 24 to 16 like this. If white hits us, they'll likely to have to break their midpoint here. Being hit by white is not fatal. We can come in. White's only got one homeboard point, but we have 2. This runs out before white can use these builders to make a point on head, hit us and make a point. And it does leave 2 vulnerable blots. Let's compare both moves, both final boards. Try thinking which one looks best to you. Some priorities Tardieu mentions. When we have a lone back checker, we should try to maintain the advantage of that lone back checker as long as possible, even if it decreases our flexibility. We should try to avoid leaving ourselves exposed on desirable points, such as the 20 or 21 point, which are up against the opponent's prime, or also is try to avoid leaving a blot on a strategically valuable point. If we're ahead in the race and we have an opportunity to run to safety, then we might want to race. And even if we can't completely run to safety on our midpoint, if we're ahead in the race, we should consider at least moving our lone checker close to safety to the outfield. Let's see what Tardieu and XG say. The move where we're moving, stepping up 24, 22, coming down to 14 to 8 like this. Tardieu says, while this play seems safe, we're actually passing up a decent opportunity to start the escape of our back checker and create some structure in our outfield. This move also allows white to build a stronger home board and or stabilize their back checkers. This move gives white too many opportunities to improve their board, which is why 24-16 is rated the best. If we run out to the 16 point, we are threatening to escape our second back checker, which, alongside the checkers on the 14 point and the midpoint, could create some structure in our outfield. Can make points here or down here and improve our structure. This move looks risky, but almost all the rolls that hit us require white to break their midpoint, which will strand their two back checkers and destroy the strategic link between white's rear and front checkers, the midpoint. The shots we leave are far from fatal, and shooting us will prevent white from building a stronger homeboard or stabilizing their back checkers. What's more, breaking the midpoint will give us a variety of return shots from the bar. So if white hits us and breaks their midpoint, we still have return shots we can hit them with, send them back, third checker back. That's why this is rated the best move by both XG and Tardieu. So here, even though we can't completely escape, we can get close. If we don't get hit, this will help us to create structure in the outfield and prevent white from escaping, possibly, and possibly provide builders for our prime. And we're avoiding leaving our blot exposed on a desirable point like the 20 or 21. Tardieu's summary: a play that pushes our opponent to break their midpoint while they still have checkers back is always worth a look. And that's what will happen here. I modify the position, give white a third checker back on their midpoint, moving a checker from their 6 point to their 13 point. Let's see what happens. So now if they hit us, we move out here and they hit us with one of these checkers on their midpoint. Here now it'll look like this. Now they won't have to break their midpoint to hit us down here. And I'm moving a checker from our 13 or from our 6 point to our 13 point as well to make the relative pip difference, relative pip count the same. When we do that, XG tells us that it's still best move to run 24 to 16. However, 24, 22, 14, 8, stepping up here, is not such a big mistake, nor is 14, 8, 13, 11, bringing 2 down. They're much better moves now that white has this third point on the midpoint. I believe this tells us that since white will not have to break their midpoint to hit us, now there's increased merit to focusing on improving our prime instead of trying to run out. I think I'm interpreting this correctly, but I might be missing something. Let me know if you agree or not, or if you have a question or a comment. All feedback is welcome. Check out Getting to Know Backgammon Studio Heroes from the USBGF YouTube channel. Michael Misic, who is an administrator for Backgammon Studio Heroes, delivers a thorough overview of this powerful website, which is used by players at all levels. The link is in the description.